Hello children. Today we are going to discuss the chapter first of your book Honeysuckle Class 6 and the name of the chapter is Who Did Patrick's Homework and the author of this chapter Carol Moore. Before start the lesson, let me ask you few questions. By the by, do you all like to do your homework? Yes, some of you like to do your homework and some of you do not like to do your homework. Can you tell me whether you yourself do your homework or others will do your homework? Very good. You yourself do your homework, right? In today's class, we are going to learn a story. Who did Patrick's homework? Let us read and understand the lesson. Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. And Nintendo is a video game. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true. Sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. Ignoramus means an ignorant person who lacks education. But what could he do? He hated homework. Patrick never did his homework because he found it boring. Instead, he played hockey and basketball. He also liked to play video games like Nintendo. His teacher warned him to complete his homework, otherwise he won't be able to learn anything. It was a fact because at times he used to feel like an ignorant person. He had no interest in studies and homework. Then one day he found his cat playing with the little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. The tiniest means smallest. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches. Breeches means breeches or short trousers and a high tall hat much like a witch's. He yelled, Save me! Don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that. One day, he observed his cat playing with the doll and was surprised to find that it wasn't a doll and it was a man of the smallest size. It was wearing a woolen shirt with an old-fashioned trousers and a tall hat. The doll requested Patrick to save him and not to send him back to the cat. The doll promised Patrick to fulfill his wish. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So he said, Only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days. If you do a good enough job, I could even get A's. Luck means fortunate. Problems means difficulties. Semester means half term. It was difficult for Patrick to accept that he was so fortunate to get an answer or solution to all his difficulties. He asked him if he could do his homework till the end of the semester, that is a period of 35 days, to help him score A grade. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. A dishcloth means a cloth used for washing dishes. Hamper means a basket with a lid. He kicked his legs and doubled his fist and he grimaced and scowled. Grimaced, scowled, pursed his lips means his face had these expressions, showing disgust, anger and disapproval. Oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. After hearing this, the little man's face gave a look of cloth lying in the basket used for washing dishes. He showed his disapproval for the work by kicking legs and making unhappy faces, but he promised to do the work. And true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework, except there was one glitch. A glitch is a fault in a machine that prevents it from working properly, a hitch or problem. The elf didn't always know what to do and he needed help. Help me, you would say. And Patrick would have to help in whatever way. I don't know this word. The elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. Get me a dictionary. No, what's even better? Look up the word and sound it out by each letter. Elf means a supernatural creature. A squeak means cried aloud. And keeping his word, the elf started doing his homework. But sometimes he needed help as he didn't know all things. Then Patrick had to help him. Sometimes, while reading Patrick's homework, the elf would say, crying aloud, that he doesn't know the meaning of that word. So, give him a dictionary or something that can help him to identify the sound of each letter as well as word. When it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. What are times tables? The elf shrieked. A shriek means gave a short, high pitched cry. We elves never need that. And addition and subtraction and division and fractions. Yeah, sit down beside me. You simply must guide me. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's a mystery. So the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books. More and more books. And you can help me read them too. The elf knew nothing of maths. All concepts of maths were completely strange. The elf explained that elves never needed mathematical concepts like addition, subtraction, division, and fractions. So Patrick had to sit next to him to guide. Even he did not know anything of human history, it was completely strange to him. Thus, he screamed at him to visit the library, get him more books, and help him to read as well. As a matter of fact, every day in every way, that little elf was a nag. A nag means one who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. Patrick was working harder than ever and was it a drag. A drag means something dull and uninteresting. He was staying up nights, had never felt so weary, was going to school with his eyes puffed and bleary. Actually, the little creature was either troubling, complaining, or asking Patrick to do something. Patrick was not able to sleep. He had never felt so tired before and was going to school with his dull looking eyes. Finally, the last day of school arrived and the elf was free to go. As for homework, there was no more, and he quietly and slyly slipped out the back door. Yes, slyly means secretively. Finally, it was the last day of school, and the elf had complete freedom to go as there was no more homework to do. So, without speaking anything, in a secretive manner, he moved out from the back door. Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. Amazed means surprised. His teachers smiled and were full of praise, and his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. A kid means a child. Cleaned his room, did his chores. A chores means work that must be done every day, often boring. Was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. Attitude means a feeling about someone or something. Patrick scored A grade. His classmates and his teachers were full of appreciation, and parents were trying to know what made him so perfect. He became good child who cleaned his room himself, did all his work, became a happy child was never rude and developed a complete new self and look. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he had made that tiny man do all his homework. But I will share a secret just between you and me. It wasn't the elf, Patrick had done it himself. I would like to say that it was not the elf, but Patrick himself who did his work. The elf just propelled him to do everything. So, this is how Patrick himself did his homework.